everybody, it's Connie with the Artisan Company. Welcome back to the channel. Well, today, let's just go see what's on the desk. Well, alrighty. Today, we've got another fun project with agate stones. You guys loved the last one so much, I decided to do another one with crazy colors. So anyway, what I've got here is a mixture of agate stones and golden quartz. So these yellow pieces right here that you see right here are the golden quartz, and these are just a mixture of agate stones. This is moss agate, this green one right here, but all of these are just a mixture of agate stones that have been dyed, except for the moss agate, that's the color it is. But these right here, these bright colored ones that you see here, those are all dyed. They're not normally that color, and that's the beauty of agate. You can get agate stones in a myriad of colors, and they're so versatile and they're so strong, and I love them. So this is going to be another fun, easy peasy necklace for you to do that'll look like you worked all day. Okay, so I got my mixture of agate stones, and then I'm going to mix with them this time this string of beads right here. These are 6.0 seed beads, and they've kind of got a rainbow finish on them. Are these not lovely? Oh my, I saw these and I said, love that mixture of colors. And these are from Blue Moon, and it's their Global Nomad series. They did a bunch of stuff like this. Blue Moon Global Nomad series. I'll get it out in a minute. But that's what these are. And they've got a rainbow finish on them. And I just loved them. The reason why I picked these is because it picks up pretty much every color I have in the stones in here in some form. So I thought, wow, I'm going to use those. Okay, quickly here. I have a 4mm gold bead cap, just a tiny little thing right here. And I'm mixing the metal colors on this. I'm going to have copper, silver, and gold in it. So I've got a 4mm bead cap. I have a 6mm copper bead. I have a 5mm copper bead. And I have a 4mm copper bead. And we'll use all three of those. And then my clasp is going to be this beautiful hook and eye clasp right here. I think that'll be just stunning in silver. And then I've got my crimp and my crimp covers. I may wind up adding a pop of silver somewhere as I'm going, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to make this necklace, the length of the necklace here, or 16 is my goal, because these two pieces right here are going to be a centerpiece that hang at the bottom. And that'll make it total 18 inches to the bottom of the pendant that's going to be here. Okay, and I'm using, because these stones are a little heavier, I'm using a heavy AccuFlex. You can also use Soft Flex, but this one's AccuFlex 49 strands, heavy. And then you just need a little small piece of the AccuFlex fine beading wire, just a small piece, maybe 4 or 5 inches of that. And you can use Soft Flex as well. Okay, let me get my head around it and we'll get started. Okay, so what I did was I laid the beads out in the color palette that I thought was the best for where I'm going. I think the darker stones here make this purple just sing, especially when we add that little gold sliver of light right in there. It's going to make this one sing, and I really wanted it to sing. The green here brings out the yellow. This brings out the green. And up here at the top is kind of a pinky color. So next to this brown, this one's black, this one's brown. The pink would be beautiful next to that brown. So that's why I laid it out that direction. Okay, these two little guys are going to be my centerpiece down here at the bottom of the necklace. So what it will wind up doing is looking something like that. I don't know if you can see it. Let me move it up just a little bit. All right. It's going to look something like this. So the smaller piece will be hanging at the bottom. I wanted it to graduate down to smaller. And hopefully it'll be about 18 inches to the bottom of this. All right. That's kind of the reason why I did what I did. And I'm going to put maybe 3 of these beautiful rainbow colored beads in between each one of these. And we'll see where it goes. So we're going to do the pendant part next. There are multiple ways to do this pendant part. I wanted the most fluidity as I could get to it. So I'm going to do it with one piece of beading wire, the ultra fine beading wire, because it's so fluid. I mean, look, you can just roll it. You can do this any way you want to. If this is too hard for you, you can use a couple of eye pins to connect them. If you want to, you'd put an eye pin through this one and a head pin through this one, and then make your loops in the middle and connect them like that. If you want to do it that way. And then a loop here will connect it to your necklace. But I'm using this technique on this one, and let's just get started on it. Okay, so what I'm doing with my copper beads is I want a smaller one here, the middle-sized one in the middle here, and the larger one at the top. That's the direction I'm going, because remember I said I wanted everything to graduate down. So this is how it's going to look. So you're going to take your fine beading wire. Let me get my eyes down here so I can see. And you're going to take that little 4mm copper bead. You're going to string it onto your wire. Bring it down to the center. Let it just drop to the center. And then you're going to, oops, sorry. Let me back up here. I forgot my little bead cap, but you're going to let that drop to the center. And then you're going to get one of your bead caps or not. You do not have to do the bead caps if you don't want to. But I like them. I think they're fantastic. And it doesn't give a lot of, doesn't take away from the stone. Let me put it that way, the smaller it is. All right, then you're going to take your stone, first your bottom stone, put it on and pull it down. So it should look like that. That should be the juncture you're in. All right, so we're going to take another bead cap and do it on the top there. And the bead caps, not only does it give a sliver of light and an introduction of a new metal color, it also helps to accent your stones. So you don't have to use them, but it definitely looks more finished. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is add our next bead size, which is the 5mm. So you should be looking like this at this juncture. All right, the next thing is another bead cap. Ooh, I can hardly see it. They are really tiny. Okay. And then we're going to add the bigger stone. And I decided to put the darker blue down here next to this carnelian kind of color, because I think it really makes everything wake up versus the other way. Let's just turn it around and look. Let's see what that looks like. And you know what? There is no right or wrong. You can do it any way you want to, but that's beautiful too. Absolutely beautiful. But I like it the other way. I like the two more vivid colors together. So I'm going to put those threads back through there like that. Okay, back to the original thought. I got little beads rolling. Okay, a bead cap on this. Pull it down. All right, so this is where you should be. Oh, and then the next one, the larger bead, the 6mm bead. This is where you should be. So this is what it should look like at this juncture. They're all connected. Okay. Now what we're going to do now is just like you would finish off a necklace with a crimp and a crimp cover, you're going to do it exactly like that, with the exception of you're not putting on a clasp. You're just making a hoop for the necklace. Okay, I'm going to take my crimp right there. I slid my crimp on. And then I'm going to do just like I do on a necklace. I'm going to wrap it and push it back through there. Both wires. Make sure. I'll do that. It should kind of look like that. All right, and I'm going to pull it down as close as I can get it to the, let me move these over just a second, to that top bead. Now, because you're not connecting it to something, I'm going to take you can do a toothpick. This is just like a little needle. I'm sticking it through that hoop right there so I can pull down both wires and still leave you can see how I'm pulling it just like that, because you want your crimp right next to that bead. Okay. Once you get it down there, and make sure you're leaving enough room at the top to bead your necklace, the rest of your necklace with. I'm going to pull that out before I crimp it off. Make sure you can see it. I don't know if you can see that or not. I left a little loop up there to run the necklace through. Everything's tight. So I'm going to crimp it off just like I do a normal necklace. I'm going to flatten it and fold it. Up. Got it crooked here. Well, got it crooked again. There it is. All right, then I'm going to take the leftovers, just like you do with putting on a clasp, and run it back down through here as far as I can. It may go through that little bead cap on the top. It may not. So we're not going to get frustrated, because you can clip it actually, because for some of you that might be a little difficult. So let me just do this. I'm going to just run it through that top bead. Come on, little guy. Where's my other one? He's not wanting to come out. You know that's what happens when you're videotaping. You know it's always something that's going to go haywire when you're videotaping. Okay, so I've got both strands of the wire coming through right there. We'll pull it down where they're both pulled through. Should look like that. Okay. Now I'm going to take my flush cutters, and I'm going to cut this right next to that copper bead. Whoop, whoop. Not that far. Not that far. Get back down in there. That's because I don't have a crimp on it yet. So I'm holding it just a little bit. And you can cut off any excess. There it goes. All right. All right, next thing we're going to do is put the crimp on the top. Now this is just a different way to do this. You can do it any way you want to. You can wire wrap it if you want to. I'm not a very good wire wrapper, so I don't do too much of that. It's beautiful. I mean, absolutely stunning. I've seen people do stuff I just kind of sit with my mouth open going, wow. But for some reason, me and wire wrapping don't get along very well. But you can do it any way you want to. I mean, if you've got really large hole beads, you can run leather through there, just whatever you want to do. But if you're um, if this is too hard for you, just you can do it a different way. All right, so I've got it all together. A little excess there. Okay, so I've got it together. It is fluid, moves, and that's what I wanted, something that moved. Okay, that's going to be your centerpiece right there. All right, let's get ready to go do some beading with these little 6.0s. Okay, so I am down up for it to expedite time. I went ahead and beaded one side, and you can kind of see where this is going. Oh my goodness, guys, look at how beautiful those colors mix. I am stoked about this. I love these little rainbow colored seed beads in there. It's just beautiful, and it's bringing out all the color in all the agate stones. So anyway, I put 3 beads in between each stone. So I'm down to the center of my necklace where we're going to add our pendant. I got some beads that keep rolling around over here. Let me just move them. Okay. Um, Now I've got a one of those little tiny 4 millimeter bead caps flanking each one of these stones. And what it just gives a finished look to each stone, but it adds just a little, I mean, insy bincy bitty tiny sliver of light in there, and it's just not overwhelming. But it also brings out the golds in these beads too, so it has a twofold thing. All right, we're down here on the bottom, and what I decided to do down here was it's going to be the focal piece, so I want to make sure that it stands out in the middle. So I'm going to take one of these little beads right here to the end of that, and then I'm going to add 2 copper beads to pull the copper down from here, because we got silver, copper, and then copper going down through here with gold. There's copper and gold in here. Now I'm going to add just a little more silver to the bottom. So what I'm doing is, and you do not have to do this. I did not tell you to do this at the beginning, but because I wanted to pull the silver in a little bit more, because I've got more copper and gold going on right now, I'm going to flank each one of my 6 millimeter copper beads with a bead cap in silver. So that's where I'm going with that. So I'm going to add my bead cap down here, then my larger copper bead and another bead cap, or 2 of them on there. One thing about bead caps, you have to pay attention, because then I'm going to add my pendant, and you're just going to run it right through the little loop you just made earlier. You're going to pull it down tight. Then you're going to add another bead cap, your larger copper bead, and another bead cap on that. And you're going to push it down tight. Then you're going to pick out another one of the little seed beads here that matches this one in color. So let me kind of thumb through them here. Maybe that one. That's fairly close. Some of them are more pink than others. Some are more brown than others. But you know what? You don't even have to do that. You can put anything in there you want because it's yours. All right, so we've got it finished to this part. We've got the pendant on in the middle, and this is lovely. I'm loving this. Okay, for those of you who like to watch the beading process, we're going to start this side with these stones. And the other thing I do too is with stones, I always take the stone, I look at the stone and see which way it's going. You can see this one's more of a thinner on the top and the bottom, so I want the heavier piece on the bottom. That's the direction I'm going. You can do it the opposite if you would like. There is no right or wrong. It just depends on what you're trying to achieve and what kind of look you're wanting. Hey, that one's got 2 holes in it. Shut up. Didn't see that. Wow. That was a new one for me. Okay. Gonna keep moving. We added our bead cap. Now we're right here in this process. On this side, we're right here. We're gonna add the 3 beads. You don't roll on me, baby. Another bead cap. The holes are so tiny. I moved these earlier, so I'm turning it to see which way it should go weight wise. I want the heavier look on the facing bottom, but that's just me. You don't have to do yours that way. You may have a whole different vision for yours, and that's great. Because if we're all doing the exact same thing, it just becomes cookie cutter, and then it's not exciting anymore. Everybody's trying to shuffle to get their stuff out there and seen by somebody and blah blah. But if you make it your own, you don't have that need to hurry and it's like it's yours. It's one of a kind. Gotta love that. All right. I'm here to the purple stone now. This purple stone is beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna finish the rest of this out and then we'll be back to get the clasp on. All right, we're finishing up here now. This is really exciting. To expedite time, I went ahead and put this side of the clasp on, and now we're working on this side, and I've got the beading wire threaded through and all that, just like I always do it. And I've got tutorials if you want to watch those to show you how to do the crimps and the crimp covers. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and clamp this thing off. I'm going to mash and then fold. So there we go. And then the excess, I'm going to try to run as much of the excess through here as I can. I may not be able to get very far, but don't get frustrated with that. Just do what you can do with it. And the heavier beading wire, heavier gauge beading wire is a little, even though it's very supple, it's still a little harder to work with when you're doing things like this because it is a stronger, heavier wire. It's just kind of a no-brainer. You're going to have to work a little harder with this one, but needless to say, it is what it is. But you can also use a medium bead wire with this if it's easier for you to work with. No problem. The reason why I did the heavier ones because the stones were a little heavier. And they sometimes agates have a little bit of a rough edge on the inside, and I wanted to make sure I had a stronger wire. Now, I don't know why this little guy, because I know why this little guy is not wanting to go through there because I'm at the end of the video. That's, that is how this goes every single solitary time. This is getting me tickled now. I'm laughing about it now because it is what it is. Oh, it's going through. It's just being a little difficult. Oh my goodness me, y'all. I'm sorry. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I went ahead and pulled him on through. I didn't want y'all to hear me getting fussy with it. So anyway, I got it through there. I'm going to go ahead and put my crimp cover on now, my little Pac-Man looking guy. And make sure you close these up very slowly, because if you don't close it up slowly, it will go whoppy jaw on you, and you don't want that. Just close it slow, even them up. Very slowly. Slowly I turn, step by step. Anybody remember that I Love Lucy episode where she was trying to win the $1,000, at that game show? Slowly I turn. Oh my gosh. That was so funny. I love to watch I Love Lucy. All right, guys, I think this is it. Make sure you run your finger over your crimp to make sure there are no rough edges and you've got it closed really good. Because sometimes you'll think it's closed good and it's not. So that's smooth as glass. Woo! Look at this. I love this. This is so much fun, guys. It's another one of these fun agate stone necklaces that you just don't have to have everything exactly the same size and everything. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful. Oh my, look at all the colors. It's just stunning. It's like all the colors just jump and pop, and oh my goodness, I love it. Oh wow, look at the clasp. I'm excited. Okay, y'all, if you guys have gotten any inspiration today at all, please remember to like and subscribe to my channel. It does help me to know what to bring to you guys, and it helps my algorithms so other people can find me that might want to do the journey with us. So anyway, I love this agate stone and golden quartz necklace. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.